Hi everyone, and welcome to the Top Football Predictions Game Week 5 review. And I'm here with my trusty colleague, Atul Jani.
Hey guys, welcome to Predictions.
Mate, as you say, let's always get straight into it.
Let's get into it.
Game Week 5, mate, the Top Football Predictions. Boom! It exploded with points, didn't it, mate?
Oh mate, there was points galore and a whole lot more. And I think we were calculating the other day, just under half the people got the best score they've had this season so far. Obviously, the season's just raw, but you know, a lot of people have scored high.
Mate, there were some unbelievable scores. Tom, 300. This is without a joker card. 320 points. That is brilliant, isn't it, mate?
It's frightening indeed. I mean, he got some good scores there with the Liverpool game as well. You know, he hit the jackpot with Cardiff as well.
Absolutely. There was two players. It was Lee Marley and Tom. They both got the Goalfest game, so that's an extra 100 points on top of a great prediction. 150 points for those. And mate, if you can pick up points like that, that's doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, and he puts you in good stead for the rest of the season as well. So you know,
absolutely.
Well done, guys.
And there was what we got. Charlie, Danny. We're just looking at the sheet here. They got the hot shot game treble points again, 150 points to those players and their scores respectively. I mean, brilliant scoring, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah. I mean, you can't take it away. You know, quite a few other people got 200 plus points as well.
Well,
you're looking at Mads.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, Mads, he's always been thereabouts.
230 points, and Mads plays the game for a couple of years now, and I think this might be the season. Although you said it's early doors, this might be the season we see Mads really elevate into those top 4 or 5 positions.
Oh, for sure, and it's a tough season as well, you know. But then you've got the likes of Pendra as well. He's a veteran. He's been there, done it, you know.
Absolutely, 205 points this game week. But let's not detract from the 300 club.
Yes.
Ryan, 305 points. Now, don't forget, this is Ryan, who I think it was last season. He was languishing down the bottom for some time, but this season flipped up, mate, and he's doing great guns already, isn't he?
Yeah, so, I mean, hats off to him. He's really doing well. He's leading the charge, and you know, let's see. It's a long season, but I think it really is going to be an exciting season. It's a tough season so far.
Absolutely, mate. Other player recognition, well, we can't go too far any game weeks really without mentioning old Gaza. Old Raggy, 280 points for the Raggy. Yeah. Gary, well done, mate. Well 280. That's a solid performance, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. You know, Gary's, you know, he's really taken to this predictions a lot. You know, last season he did really well, and this season he looks as if he's following it up with the big one. He's going for the big one, yeah.
Absolutely.
So good luck at it.
Talking of the big fish, the old Danny Atware, my old mate, 285 points. Yeah. That takes some doing as well. Yeah. And we mentioned Charlie as well, 220, but there's been some, you know, there's been some other performances as well. But Lee Marley, 245.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, we've seen it. We've changed the points slightly over the seasons, but if you're getting more than even 150 points each week, you're doing really well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, a lot of people are scoring consistently. So if you look at it, no one's really running away with it because everyone's in touching distance. You know, even though gaps have appeared on the table and you've seen it for yourself. But if you think of it theoretically, if one or two people starts getting a 200, 300, 400, week 1, week 2, week 3. Before you know it, you're up there, and sometimes you're in the lead. Yeah,
indeed. And now you talk about that, and I've just moved the sheet on. Ryan, top of the league as it stands if it finished today at the end of season, including bonus points. And don't forget, there's loads of bonus points to go through the season. Ryan, 835 points already. 755 David Shaw. Now David Shaw's another new player, mate. We've given him lots of praise so far, and rightly so, because he got player of the month for the first month. Yeah. So he got those 50 points. He's doing really well. Yeah. Just been toppled slightly, but Ryan snuck up there now. It's still close up there though, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you just got to look at it. I mean, even though Ryan's got the lead, David's got the bonus points at the end of the day banked already. So you know, it's a long way to go. You've got the likes of Tom there, and also, you know, Danny Atware, Lee. Even though you got Gary in the below 700 mark with leading the charge, you know, it's still pretty close. Good game week or so, as I say.
I mentioned Lee being consistent last week, and he liked the shout out. But Martin, I know he won it last year, but and he got cash on the World Cup game, but He knows what he's doing. He's up there already in those
distance,
in the top 6 or 7 or 8 places. So
for sure.
Yeah. And what about some of the other players, mate? I think Dan Bullock has played before. I think he's got his brother Josh playing as well. They're performing quite admirably this season so far, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean that's good to have a little bit of rivalry going on there. You know. I think it's pretty important all of them to stay in touching distance, and also to remember people like myself who's languishing near the bottom. It's never give up. Never give up. That's
Mate, we are seasoned campaign warriors, aren't we? And I was saying to Atul earlier in the week, well, it's only Wednesday, it feels like a long week already. It's quite embarrassing at the moment because if you're like me and Atul, we're more points behind the top than we are actually what we've accumulated so far this season. So that's nothing to write home about. But look, you just got to keep it going. Those games, the boys have shown you on game week 5 already. You know, not that you're going to choose a goal fest game every week of 5 goals or more, or you know, you might not get the hot shot every week, but these are games you've got to be looking out for. And I'm giving ourselves advice here, mate. The old codgers. But I mean, in saying that, mate, we've got some tasty, and I say it every week because it's the Premiership, but we have got some tasty fixtures for game week 6. I had a vested interest for the Sunday game, it's Arsenal-Everton, but what takes your fancy there? Because we've got the Fulham versus Watford is your hot shot game this week. That's the treble points. We've got Palace versus Newcastle, which is your first goal scorer game. And that is it. We've not got a Super 6 game. So, but what games in general take your interest, mate?
It's got to be, for me, it's got to be the Brighton Spurs game.
Yeah.
Brighton Spurs game, 3rd defeat in a row. That was a real horror show.
Didn't see that one coming last night.
No, I don't think they saw it themselves anyway.
Right.
But Brighton are pretty strong at home.
Well, Brighton beat Man United a couple of weeks back, didn't they?
So they're no mean feat. Okay, they did a corrigible draw.
Oh, cost me 50 points, guys. You saw it on the messages.
But they're a strong team, so it'll be interesting to see a reaction from Pochettino's men.
And Chris Hughton, ex-Spurs as well. He's not a mug. He knows what he's doing,
No, exactly.
Palace Newcastle, first goal scorer game, mate. Again, it's not always the striker, the most advanced player on the pitch for a team that's going to get that first goal. It could come in from a corner, could be an own goal, could be no goals. Interesting game though, because Newcastle have been okay. They need to pick it up a little bit. And under Roy Hodgson now, the old Palace, I fancied him with the old Wilfred Zaha to do something. To do something in respect of kind of hold their own and elevate their position. They're not walkovers, are they, mate?
No, they aren't, and that's the thing. It's going to be a fascinating one. In fact, not even interesting, because Newcastle haven't really got that many points. I think they've only got a point, I believe, or something like that on the board. So Rafa's feeling the pressure. At the end of the day, Palace, they're good, but as you said, there's always the obvious choice of Zaha to score. Yeah. But as you said, it's technically 20 players on the pitch. I know it's 22. Maybe the goalkeeper could score, you never know, but
been done before, mate.
Yeah, so there's possibilities there, and it's a difficult one to predict. So, guys, you really need to study the team's cheat before you sort of submit that one.
Absolutely, and what you also need to study, there's an absolute corker at the London Stadium. It's West Ham Chelsea. Now, ordinarily, without beating down on West Ham, with the kind of start that Chelsea have had, I'd say Chelsea win that, but it's West Ham Chelsea, and there's always a bit of needle, mate, and stirring it up. I don't know. West Ham are in dire straits. They have now just gone and got a victory, but could they go back-to-back victories and take the scalp of Chelsea, mate?
I mean, it's difficult. You can never tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think for game week 6, I mean, hopefully we'll emulate game week 5 and get some massive points on the board. Hopefully you and I will do that. But look out for those key games, guys, because that's where you're going to be scoring a lot of points.
Yeah.
But we'll wrap it up now, mate, because I think coming up will be the predictions cup draw to see who's in whose group, to see what's going to go on for the draw this season. That'll be interesting, mate, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. So good luck, pundits, for next game, week 6.
Absolutely, and as of tomorrow being Thursday, start getting your predictions in. Cheers.
Take care.